Now you can hear me.
There we go. There we go. I can see you and I can hear you. Perfect.
Great.
How you doing, man?
Good, and you, man? How are you?
You're good. Just pouring. I'm gonna have some of the samples. The añejo, I think you sent.
Have you tried the
Nice.
añejo? Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. These are the samples. Look, everybody. Whoever bought. I know there's tons of people on this call that bought a barrel. So that's what it's gonna turn into. Gets a lot of color super fast, right?
Yeah.
Oof. That's good stuff. That is great. Let's wait a few more minutes and I'll start the presentation. Yeah, I've got some cool people on here, a bunch of people that have bought barrels already and probably want to visit in the future. And then some people that are kind of, just having a look, doing some research, seeing if you want to get into it.
Okay. Okay.
How you been? Super busy?
Yeah, it's been a lot of work at the distillery.
Yeah.
We have been making some investments on the bottling line,
Okay.
so we can be a better production in the bottling. So
Okay. Ah, nice.
yeah,
Nice. Cool. I see you guys. I seen there's like an RTD brand you guys make, right?
yeah, we have there a partnership with Tequila. It's a
Yeah. That's the one I saw. They liked the post that we had.
yeah, it's a brand we built together where all the values and everything goes along with the values of the distillery of Vietnam. So I think it's a pretty honest RTD. So we
Yeah.
can have that other part of business for the consumer searching quality agave RTDs, and
Okay.
it's a really agave forward RTD. It's not any guava berry flavors.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I need to try it. Guess it's more in the US now, right?
Yeah, it's right now it's only in the US. I think they're now in some Whole Foods in California. So
Nice. Okay. Keep an eye out for it. All right. Let me just share presentation. No, this. I go here. Right. I think that looks done. Right. Let me ask.
yeah,
Some. Awesome. Right. Let's get going. So, everybody, thanks for joining. Today, we've got a super cool in our first webinar on the subject of tequila. We're here with Willie Banuelos. He's one of the founders of the El Mexicano distillery. And yeah, we're going to delve into tequila, talk a bit about the growth. Obviously, everybody knows about tequila, but maybe we'll talk a bit about production, how it's the kind of categories. We're going to delve a bit into just the current trends and how the market's kind of evolved over the last few years. Willie and his family have been in the industry for what, 20 years? Long time, right?
50 more, a little bit more than 50 now.
50 years. So you guys, so Willie obviously knows how the industry's transformed. We'll talk about what's going on right now. And then we'll also delve a little bit into the future for El Mexicano, Willie's brand, because they've got some really awesome plans this year. There's a big global wine company, distributor, importer that's taking on the brand. They're rebranding. They're doing some really cool stuff. So we'll touch on that. I always hate this slide because I don't like just sat there talking about myself. But I'm the founder of Barrel Global. Some of you might know me, some of you might not. I own a bunch of different brands. Barrel Global started basically, I was trading a lot of Scotch casks like 4 or 5 years ago when I was living in Asia. I was doing a lot with the auctions, and I saw a big space in the US market and in bourbon for like a honest, straightforward, no smoke and mirrors, full transparency barrel selling company to work with some awesome distilleries and just, give people a great experience. As you know, whoever's with us, that our team and everybody, we're all about the experience, customer service, giving people the best experience in whiskey and barrel ownership they can have. We're super happy to have gotten into tequila with Willie. We work with great distilleries, trustworthy people, people that are building great brands. Own a bunch of other brands, but definitely Barrel Global is one of my first companies and definitely one of my favorites. And I think we've done some really cool stuff so far. Looking at Willie, I'll let you talk a little bit about just a small introduction. So Willie's family, he's one of the CEO, one of the founders of Tequila El Mexicano. His family previously owned a really, really big brand that Willie can talk about. And that was sold. And then they started the El Mexicano distillery. Something I can say before, Cazadores, it's written there. So I think, Willie, they had Cazadores. You sold it to Pernod, right? Pernod Ricard?
No, to Bacardi.
Bacardi.
Yeah.
And then they made the El Mexicano distillery. When we were looking for our partner in tequila, we went to a lot of different distilleries in tequila and Jalisco. And honestly, we were blown away by El Mexicano. The space, the hacienda they have is unbelievable. It's beautiful. And whoever owns a barrel should definitely try to get there. The tequila they make is amazing, additive-free, super focused on the premium stuff. I know for a fact, I've asked Willie, when I've had some clients from Asia trying to get super cheap pouring tequila, Willie said no to me because that's not something we do, and that's good. They only make high-quality, premium tequila. They work with some great brands and obviously their own brand, and we're super happy to have them as our partner distillery. But yeah, Willie, if you want to talk a little bit about yourself and kind of the history of your family, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, George. Nice to meet you all. Thanks to be in this meeting, this webinar. We are really proud to be partners, first of all, with Barrel Global, and we are proud that they choose us from all the different distilleries they were there. So, a little bit of the history of where we came from. It's we started from my grandfather, but it was the last brand. It was a pretty fast growing brand back in the late 70s up to 2002 that it was sold to Bacardi. And well, my dad, he couldn't make tequila in 7 years, so he waited patiently. So he envisioned this project that it's El Mexicano. It's honestly a really pretty space, a pretty good venue where he envisioned how the industrial part, the tequila making process, it can be merged in this beautiful hacienda that it's in Arandas, Jalisco, where my dad born, and so we are in Arandas. We are at 7,000 feet above sea level, so it's pretty good for agaves and for the yeast or for the fermentation to develop because we don't have we have a cool weather. Uh, and well, now we are a family where we are involved. Me, two brothers, a sister, and both of my parents involved on the business. We own it and we operate it. So we are really proud to say that we are a Mexican tequila family, that we want to honor the traditions, we want to honor the process and everything that we make in the tequila in Tequilas El Mexicano. It's a really honest way to make it. We are really patient on every of the processes that we have, but at the same time we have been evolving with new machines, with new technology, so we can evolve in the spirits business without putting in risk the quality, because we believe in the processes, we believe in the patience. So each one of the processes, we cannot rush it. We cannot just go faster. So we will need to put more equipment. That's why the development of the distillery itself, the pot stills, the autoclaves that it's stainless steel, the brick ovens we also have. It's designed by my dad, that is now the master distiller of the Tequilas El Mexicano. He has more than 40 years of experience. He was in the initial of Cazadores. So all his experience he has been putting in El Mexicano. And what can I say of El Mexicano is that we have like tattooed from my grandfather to make an honest tequila, to make an honest way to honor the profile. So we will not rush. We will not add anything after that. Now, what we are putting, I'm the third generation. What we are making now, is to get onto the barrels, to have better quality barrels, to have the best cooperage out in the world, to have source the agaves we are working with today. Because honestly, in tequila, we were on diapers, or we are on diapers on the barrel world. And honestly, our future for us is to be up there with whiskeys, cognacs, the brown spirits world, not only in tequila and agave spirits, but with other categories.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nice to meet you all, and here we are, George.
Yeah. No, guys, like, again, if you get a chance to go, me and Juan, one of the partners of Barrel Global, went there, tried the tequila, hung out with his mom's, like, super fashionable Mexican classy lady. You know, we had a great kind of dinner at the distillery. And yeah, as I said, whoever gets a chance to go should go. And that leads us to not just talking. We're going to show you a little video of our actual experience at El Mexicano, and just like get an appreciation of it. Because if you've ever been to a tequila distillery, they're like small on like a corner, or this is like grandiose. So let's delve into the video. All right, hopefully this works. Here we go. Hey guys, George here from Barrel Global, and I'm at our very first tequila partner distillery here to buy some barrels for our customers. Now, as a lot of you probably know, tequila is one of the fastest growing spirit categories in the world and has been for the last few years. So we thought it's really important to come down here, see what's happening, and yeah, get some really good barrels to offer you. We're at the El Mexicano distillery here. It's a really beautiful distillery up in the highlands of tequila. They use exclusively the Highland agave, which produces a slightly fruitier, more herbal character, something that, in my personal opinion, adds well as it matures. So it gives you guys an opportunity to mature your barrels for a little bit longer. Hey man,
how are you, George?
How's
Good
it
to
going?
see you. Good,
Good
and
to
you?
be here. Good.
Welcome.
Great to be here finally.
Welcome.
It's beautiful place.
Good looking. Let me show you around.
Awesome. So when did this start? Like, what year was it founded?
It was found 15 years ago.
Okay.
We started the construction of the distillery.
Okay.
And making tequila here, we got the nom 10 years ago.
Okay.
So we are quietly new distilleries.
Yeah. And I mean, I've tried your tequila. I've tried a lot of tequilas since I got here, but I really like the profile that you guys have. Like, I feel it's like light. It's really agave forward, a bit of fruitiness. Can you tell me a little bit about, the liquid, kind of what you guys are trying to make here?
We like to respect times in the process, The fermentation, it's really important for us. I think it's key for a process. Mm-hmm. It's plus 5 days fermentation, so it's quietly all the flavors and aromas, we take it from there. And also distillation, like all the spirits, we have 2 distillations. The first one in times, it's around 8 to 10 hours. The second distillation, it's around 16 hours, so it's a really slow distillation. 100% pot still. We do not use column.
That's good.
We do not have diffuser here, so you will get all the straightforward you found in our tequilas.
Yeah.
Right now we are an additive-free brand, El Mexicano.
Keep it like that.
Yeah, keep it like that.
I want to ask you, so basically we're selling people a tequila barrel, right? So we need to see and help people understand what happens after that. So I know tequila is a bit different in the fact that a certain amount of time makes it a reposado, a certain amount of time in the barrel makes it an añejo, an extra amount of time makes it an extra añejo. Can you tell us a little bit about that and kind of, I guess, what people can expect if they get their tequila barrel of Blanco today, what that can turn into?
Okay, well, first of all, we have to make the Blanco. The rules from the CRT, you will have to spend 2 months in a barrel to make reposado.
Okay. It's a minimum.
It's a minimum 2 months. Then you will have 12 months for añejo.
Okay.
And then you will have 3 years for extra añejo.
Okay.
So that's the age that the CRT asks us as producers.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a bit about that category? I mean, I know before no one really cared about it, and now it's been growing and growing more. Can you tell us a little bit about the extrañejo category, like globally, I guess?
Yeah, well, extrañejo, as you told, George, it's true. Nobody drank extrañejo before. Tequila gets really popular with reposado.
Okay.
I could say extrañejo. Right now, it's really big for all these whiskey drinkers moving to tequila.
At the distillery, you're able to visit here. There's hotels in the area, do tastings, taste your barrel, everything that we offer from our bourbon partner distilleries, we will also be offering from our tequila partner distilleries. So, if you want to start your tequila adventure today, go to barrelglobal.com and order your very own tequila barrel today. Badass. Oh, sorry. Get out of this. Wait. People want to watch that again. 5 minutes of time. Right, it's a bit of the agenda today, as I mentioned, and I think let's delve into, I guess, origins and basics. So, I guess the first question that I think is probably in a lot of people's minds, Willie, at least it was in mine before I knew more about the distillery, is what kind of makes a tequila premium? You know, because I know, remember, like when I told you I moved to Mexico a few years ago, I had terrible memories of being a kid and like shooting Jose Cuervo and wanting to kill myself. So that was basically my idea of tequila. But then I got here to Mexico and I saw all these amazing expressions, like sipping tequilas, a category that, you know, is now, it's huge in the US and it's reaching abroad. It's getting to Asia. It's getting to, you know, Europe with the likes of, you know, Clase Azul has done a really good job of taking it out their premium tequila. Maybe it's not, they've started adding additives and such, but it's done a great job in elevating tequila as a category. You know, Don Julio. But what kind of separates the kind of tequilas we know about and the premium tequila in terms of production?
Okay, yours well. First of all, the raw material that we use, that it's agave. It's only one kind of agave that we can use in tequila, because you know the DOP, it's really tight in the rules. So the blue Weber agave, that is what we need to use in tequila. It is spent at least, what we work with, it's 6 years on the soil to harvest. So well, from there you can see that it's a long time that you need to wait for the fruit or for the agave to grow. So from there, I think a premium tequila or a premium from the production side is to respect the plant. Well, how or what do I mean about that? It's that when you respect the agave, you will search that the profile, it tastes as agave, you know. So what would you will lose? Well, you will lose a little bit of kilograms per liter. You will lose a little bit because you are making it patiently with the time, but you are searching the flavors when you cook it up to when you're distilling it, you know. So well, the other tequilas that we believe that they are not the premium segment is that they rush the agave. They try to cook it fast. They try to extract any sugars the agave can have. They will ferment fast. They will distill in columns so they can get most of the alcohol they can. So they can make a, I will say, not in quality, but a cheaper product in terms of production. So for me, that's the mainly difference between a premium spirit tequila and that one that is not that premium, you know, a volume one. So if you respect the plant on each one of your process, you will get premium tequila. For example, in the cooking that we have, the first bitter honeys, we will discharge them. Why? Because it has a lot of waxes, it has a lot of different things that we don't like to be in our profile when we distill it in the pot stills. And there's the other guys that they want all the sugars from the bitter honeys to whatsoever, because they can discharge it in the column stills, because in the column stills it will be as a profile really flat,
Mhm.
they don't need to worry, So for me, that's the mainly difference.
Yeah.
Respecting times in process.
Yeah, that's amazing to think that a lot of people abroad or people that don't know much about tequila, you've got all these parties and people are shotting it, but they don't understand that it takes the agave alone to grow. It takes 6 to 8 years. Like it's such a long process. You've got 6 years on that end distillation. Then if you want to mature it, it's another 3 years to make it an extra añejo. That's like a 10-year process to get to that point, where people treat it like it's just a spirit that's made super quickly. And I remember you were telling me as well that stuff happens in tequila, like some disease can, people steal the agave, a disease. If one of the agave plant gets a disease, it just, blasts right through all the kind of, all the agave plants. And there's been a lot of that happening. So it's really interesting to understand what a difficult process, like a jornalero, like the work that they do. Those are the guys that take care of the agave plants. They wake up every morning at 4 a.m., go to the fields, cut the agave. It's such an interesting category that people don't really get to see and know the difficulties that goes in to making a tequila. Another question. So I remember you guys use only exclusively Highland agave. So something everybody on the call should know. So you've got in Jalisco in Mexico, there's a town called Tequila, and that's where a lot of the original brands are. Jose Cuervo's there. El Mexicano is in Aranda. It's more of the highlands of Jalisco, and it's beautiful. It's like super green, it's very different. Down in Tequila, it's super dry. Like it's a different climate. When you go up to, there's like cows, there's a lot of grass. It's very, when we went, it was nice and just, wet, nice kind of climate. And I know that you guys use more Highland agave. Can you tell us a little bit about what that brings out in the tequila?
Yeah, Josh. Well, first of all, I think the height between lowlands in tequila, where, as you say, is where the oldest tequila families are there. And I have some friends there that I like the profile of tequila. But highlands, what we have, it's the height that we are and the soil. The soil in Arandas, it's a reddish, as you could see in the video, it's really red soil. And why is red? Because it has a lot of minerals, has a lot of phosphorus, it has a lot of zinc, of different minerals that the agave will absorb, and it will transform it into natural sweetness, as you say, a more fruitness profile than Bali. So you will find that main difference between one one soil and the other, and also the climate.
Mm-hmm.
We had more cold months per year than in lowlands, so that's also a thing that it affects our fermentation.
Yeah.
As you see on the distillery, we have only open fermentations. We don't have any closed because we like that the environment is playing with the yeast,
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a thing that it affects because we have, as you say, it's a much greener uh, landscape because we have a lot of flowers, we have a lot of bees, we have a lot of things going on the environment
Mm-hmm.
that it will affect the fermentation. So
Yeah.
for us, that's the mainly reason that we use agave from highlands, because it's uh, more natural sweetness, that you will get than you will get in lowlands. I think a more mineral agave, more earthy, So for us, it's that the main reason we choose
Yeah.
Altos.
Yeah, and it's awesome stuff. Right. Well, moving on, I guess, from production. You guys obviously have been in the industry for a really long time. I wanted to just discuss a little bit about how you've seen the market progress. Obviously, from the time that tequila was seen as that kind of shot party drink to now to going into more premium category. So many brands starting in the US. Where do you see the market right now, and kind of where do you see it going?
Well, we have practically the whole world outside of the US to grow, because we haven't touched Asia as an industry, you know. We don't have any big participation on educating other markets besides the US. So for us, we have plenty room to grow. Um, as we were talking on agave, we have that could say difficulty because the agave now it's a tough industry because the prices are moving all the way along. So you if you plant now, you cannot know what's the price in 6 years because well anything anything can happen. As we are in a DOP really well regulated by CRT, uh, when you plant it, you have to register your land. After you have to register when you are taking out the agave and to whom you are selling. So everything of that it's been doing really well. So I think that's the challenge: how we can get enough agaves and how we can grow and educate more people that agave or tequila it's not anymore the shot um, spirit. Uh, like I was saying before, I'm looking in 3 years, 5 years maybe. Uh, tequila añejo, tequila extrañejo, competing against the brown spirits. You
Okay.
know, now the añejo extrañejo, it's they are alone. They are not competing against brown spirits as a category. But we know we can. You know, and people now that it's been a lot of the mindfulness around the world, they've been recognizing the hard work of the jimadores that are the guys that harvest the agave. They have been recognizing us as tequileros that we have to wait 6 years, that we are really patient in our process, that we take care all of the steps. So I think agave has plenty room to grow in plenty markets
Yep.
because we are not even I think on our peak, you know, as an industry.
Yeah.
So in the trends, I would say that agave is a really clean spirit. Uh, agave, it's I could say an ancestral plant. It's really it's really noble to grow it, but at the same time, it's really tough to process it. You know, to process it good. So I think people is recognizing that. Uh, as you say, they are paying now a lot of money for some tequila brands that it's good for us, and I think there's a lot of places to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy that there's been so much growth in tequila, but it's pretty much only been in the US. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy that it's like, 85 or 80% of the growth of tequila is all in the US. And there's just so many, Asia's like wide open. There's so much. I still go to the UK, to London, to some of the best bars, and you find like Patron and Ose Cuervo. It's crazy how much room there is for these amazing brands to get there that are growing in the kind of premium category to really get out there. Yeah, which is super cool. And have you seen like a big movement? I mean, I've seen it, but I just want to know what you think. A big movement in, additive free premium, have you seen like a premiumization of consumption in tequila? Like people looking for more like sustainable options. I know there's some brands that are giving back to tequila, to the community, and, the additive free is obviously a big movement. Do you see that continuing to grow?
yeah, I think that it's a consumer focus around what we are educating to people because before, like you said, tequila was even in Mexico, like 30 years ago, it was a cheap spirit. Everybody everybody back days in Mexico, they were drinking brandy or they were drinking other spirits because tequila was like the unfinest spirits out there. So now with all this movement of additive free, I would say that it's an educational part from us as producers, you know, because you will get to a shelf where you will see 100 or maybe thousands of brands, and we need a differentiation around our process, you know, because when you try to save some money on process, uh, you will lose with the flavors. You will lose with the smell that you will get from the profile. So I think people now knows more about tequila,
Yeah.
and they could understand when you are giving them something that it's artificially profile
Yeah.
when it's natural. You know, that I think it's the whole movement of additive free. It's something that it was educational as an industry. And don't get me wrong, George. I'm not saying additives are bad, but I always tell the example like sometimes you can go to get some fast food and it's okay, you can, but sometimes you would want something finer or more well cooked or more natural or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like we are not against the industry, we are not against additives. I think it's only 1%, so it's not a big deal, but it's a whole difference as a producer. It's a
Yeah.
whole difference to make it everything from a natural standpoint, having all the patience on each step, that to make shortcuts and after have the profile the profile it. Yeah, it's different. So all the American market now it's understanding every time there's a bigger market for these profiles. And honestly, is what I've been looking since my grandfather. So I don't know what to. I don't know something better to do than tequila. And my grandfather is not with us anymore. But if I make the things uh, cutting corners, I know he will be mad. You know, so it's it's our values, it's our education,
Yeah.
and we like to share it with people because we believe it's the best spirit you can get, the cleanest one. So
Yeah.
we like to
Yes.
keep that.
Yeah, and this is like our legacy, right? Like I want to,
Yeah,
tell my kids one day or my grandkids one day that we did some cool stuff and we made some quality stuff, and it wasn't just for like a quick buck or
yeah, exactly.
a
Yeah,
quick
yeah.
profit for sure. No, man, awesome. I need to get back. Now that we're chatting, I'm missing it. We need to get back soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess we touched a little bit on this. And I'd like to focus in a little bit on kind of what you see happening in the future. So you did touch on the fact that right up until now, it's been a lot of reposado, premium blancos, a lot of cocktails, that's growing. Consumption of premium tequila, it's all in cocktails. But you said you do see the kind of aged, like añejo and ex añejo category growing. But I guess one question that I want to ask you is, us as Barrel Global selling barrels, I know for a fact not a lot of distilleries do that. And just kind of what your thoughts are on the kind of aged spirits, the kind of the benefits of buying a barrel that you can kind of try resell it when it's 3 years old, when it's an ex añejo. What's your kind of thoughts on that side of the market in the future?
Well, right now, all the añejo and extra añejo, it's been really positive for tequila because now we are on the shelves of cognac and pricey spirits, like duty frees or big retail stores. So as industry, we're really proud that we are besides 3-year-old brand cognac or whatever in these premium spaces, and people now it's drinking it. They are moving or they are sharing the whiskey and the brown spirits with tequila because they are appreciating that we are making good brown spirits. So now in the industry, I've been looking some barrels, extra añejo barrels, around $10,000 per barrel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's crazy now that there's some brands looking after 10, 15 barrels, paying whatever amount of money for the liquid because the bottle is selling for $2,500 on retail. So they are trying to get a really premium liquid. So I think now it's a really good time for tequila because this will grow. We are
Yeah.
now preparing us as producers. We want to compete with brown spirits, not anymore with agave. You know, we want to be there with the big boys of the brown spirits
Yeah.
because there's rum, there's whiskey in all over places, cognac, or like
Yeah.
now that the Japanese whiskeys are so hyped around the world. So we want to be there as a not anymore as in the agave, but as a brown spirit.
Yeah.
So I think now's the time to prepare ourselves to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. It's not the time, but I think it's super cool. What you guys are doing, like aging in different types of wood, like Hungarian wood, orange liquor. I think that's maybe what could be super cool in tequila, like a single barrel tequila brand that just, buys from a lot of different distilleries, different types of wood, kind of like an independent bottler in tequila. But we shouldn't start a new idea because we're talking about like 10 different ideas, and Juan's gonna kill me if I keep coming up with different business ideas. So we should chill out with that. All right, awesome. And I guess in the future as well, I'd like to touch a little bit about to close off kind of what El Mexicano. It's a really big. So for everybody on the call, I mentioned earlier, some big news went out that Foley Wines and Spirits, they're quite a big company. They bring in Loch Lomond whiskey. Obviously, they're very big in wine. They've became a kind of global sales partner for El Mexicano. There's a big rebrand happening. So the bottles are changing. Seeing the packaging, it's super cool. I don't think we can share that yet, but I think the relaunch is happening in April. So yeah, I guess how do you feel? What do you see? What do you see the future holding for El Mexicano now that you guys are with Foley and there's a lot of fun stuff, cool stuff happening.
Well, we're really excited to what is happening with our brand, El Mexicano. It was all rebranding. It was an amazing team with Foley because they are putting now the identity of the family in the bottle. So we emboss it on the design of the bottle. We put all the detail that you will find in the hacienda. So now you can have the DNA that it's our lifestyle or how we do things for a living.
It's a
on
sexy
a bottle.
It's a sexy bottle.
So they are super cool company. They are also family owned and operated on certain areas. They respect, like they are super respectful with what we do and how we do it, because all their wine business where the owner started his wine spirits adventure, he have all these wineries making what the winemaker wants. He doesn't like to rush. He doesn't like to make shortcuts. So from the first time we met, it was a really quick connection because our values were so merged into the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're really happy. We're really excited that we are relaunching our brand, and we want to be the pajamas tequila for the consumers, where they feel comfortable, where they don't need to be pretentious or paying a ton for a quality tequila. We want to be fair with the prices. We want to have the best expressions they can have. And well, now with this partnership, we can be all over the places enjoying El Mexicano. So for us, it's been we are really proud of this project, that now a lot of more people can enjoy El Mexicano.
No, it's awesome. I'm really excited for the launch. It's like really, I liked your branding before, but the new bottle is awesome. It's really,
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, man. Well, thank you very much. Now we're gonna delve into some questions that people sent through. So let's get going. So we have a question from Jeremy Jones. Thanks for sending the question in. But it's a lot of questions. We'll do them. So, are all the barrels French oak? No, we bought some Chardonnay casks from El Mexicano. We bought some American oak casks. We're going to mix it up, get a lot of fun new stuff. As you've seen in the video, it's a huge facility. They've got lots of storage space. We want to kind of expand that, grow more. And as I said, lots of people can visit. The team there is awesome. There's a lot of cool stuff to do in the area, cool taco places, restaurants, everything. So there's a lot of different casks we're going to be working on. And hopefully now that Foley Wines, we'll have more wine casks.
Yeah, for sure.
So what proof does it come off the still? And are there any plans for a still strength? I would be much more open for a single barrel at 100 proof, any price, plans to go high proof. So I remember that was a question that we had asked you, and because they get filled lower in tequila, right? You want to talk a bit about that kind of industry standard?
Yeah, in the proof that we need to work in tequila, as the rules are in tequila, is from 35 ABV. That for me, 35 in any spirits, not only in tequila, it's something that I would not buy, but that's the rule from 35 to 55 ABV. So if we want to make a single cask pot still strength, we need to make it 55 ABV. So it's 110 proof. Yeah, we can make that happen. No problem.
But it's also very normal to bottle it to barrel it at lower strength, like 48, like we bought, because basically it doesn't drop as fast, does it, annually as like whiskey or other spirits? Or
yeah, we have maybe 10% angel share, a little bit more per year. It depends on the weather, but like I said, you George, we have a really nice height and really nice cold weather months. So yeah, maybe a 10-12% around the year angel share. And for example, a reposado that is going to be 40 proof. We like to put it on the barrel, maybe 45. So we do not dilute. We like to don't dilute after, because something that I say to in some tastings or other places is that we like that the water that we are putting in after, it's also aged with the barrel. So you have a more complex, more round profile that if you put it on cast pot still strength, then dilute it, then you will have you will lose a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, the cast we filled them. I think it was 48 or something. We filled that, and that's
48.
Yeah, that's industry standard for 3 years, and it becomes an extra añejo. That's an industry standard, and it's the way a lot of the products are bottled. But again, if we get a higher proof in the future, that's also possible. But this is, as Willie said, they like to not add as much after as they do kind of when they're filling the barrels. So, Jeremy Jones, that's your question. Next, there's a few other ones here, guys. I know Brandon, Chris, thanks for the questions, but let me get through the ones that we got through first, and then we'll do yours. Cost and terms, can you make custom labels, bottling, and packaging? So that is definitely something we offer. We've got a really good setup with Willie and his team. We have our sister company of Barrel Global is called Barrel, where we have an online platform. People can make their own labels. We bottle for hospitality groups. So we have all that sorted, and help with obviously import and everything into the US. So that is definitely something we do. Costs, I mean, please get in touch with your account manager for costs. I don't have them off, but yeah, we have all the costs for like the bottles, the dry goods, the bottling, all that. Tim asked expected 3-year selling price for a tequila barrel. So as you said, Willie, you're seeing it for around 10 grand now.
Yeah, I would say 10 grand in extra añejo. Extra añejo, it's the market price. If you want to get 1 liter of extra añejo now, you will need to spend more or less like $60. So
Yeah. And something that I
that's
can say as well, because fuck, I've been sorry, I don't mean to swear, but I've been looking for aged barrels of tequila. There's just not, like, no one wants to sell them. Like, that's something I've seen, like, compared to like bourbon or scotch, where you can find here, we've been trying to find like a 10-year barrel of tequila because a client wants to bottle it, and I just can't find anything. And even extra, like, no one wants to sell aged stuff because they see this industry growing. So it's like, no wonder the price is that high, because it's just hard to find.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really hard. And well, my friend that I introduced you, I think he has the best selection of barrels, the oldest
Yeah.
barrels in the industry of tequila.
He ain't selling nothing. That guy's he's a tough cookie.
Yeah,
He's like a real rugged, like, oh, no.
I would not sell it.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. But yeah, that just goes to show there's not like a huge amount of barrels out there. So it is a good idea to keep it for as long as you can. Randy Roberts, so he's like, how will the new tariffs affect these barrels? Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that's a pretty volatile situation right now. So if you bought a barrel now, God knows what's going to happen in 3 years. I'd say maybe wait till Trump's not the president anymore. Like, maybe the tariffs will go down, but I don't think this is going to last. I think it's kind of like what do you think about this?
Well, I think it's a pressure to Mexican government because, well, yeah, we live in a pretty country where it's a shame it's so messed up with some of people in government. So I think it's a tool that Trump is using to pressure Mexican government, and we'll see all over the news that they are being making some captures around, So
Yeah.
I think it's only pressure.
Yeah.
We believe and we hope that it doesn't happen because at last the the only part that it will be damaged is going to be the U.S. Consumer
Mhm.
because we are not absorbing it. Our distributors are not absorbing it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
what
we'll
we
see.
can make is make some savings in process or see how we can handle some costs, but
Yeah.
nothing to do more.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. If you hold your barrel for 3 years or 4, then you're good.
Yeah.
Right. Audrey Wolf asked, please address mezcal along with tequila. So at the moment, as Barrel Global, we're focused more on tequila. We feel there's a lot of potential there, a lot more to do. Mezcal's a cool one, but to be honest, I mean, as you know as well, aging in mezcal is frowned upon. Like, it's growing as well, but it's way further. And from the distilleries that I know, mezcal's way more frigid about aging it in barrels. They're very shut to that because the kind of types of agave you use in mezcal, there's a lot of different types of maguey and different plants that you use, and they want to see that flavor come through and not mask it with wood. So, I mean, you can chime in here, Willie, but I think that it's much more frowned upon aged mezcal at the moment. It's not been as accepted yet. So we're not going to delve into that for a while, I think. Right? Like,
Yeah, I think mezcal it's been a lot more into the blanco or on-age mezcal.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's also a future good spirit. I think all agaves spirits that we have in Mexico, Sotol, Bacanora,
Yeah.
it will be something in the future. Like they are making good root juice around Mexico. So
I'd love to see more aged mezcal because I'm a big fan of like smoke. So I'd love like some Isla Scotch whiskey barrel aged mezcal would be unbelievable. But I don't know. I talked to some distilleries and they were like, no, go away. We don't age. And I was like, all right. Let's.
Yeah. they are tougher than Jalisco.
Yeah. They're pretty adamant. Right. So Vikram, thank you for your question, Vikram. What is the typical aging maturity time for tequila? Does añejo really matter? Does the region where the raw material gets sourced make a different flavor? So yeah, we touched on all that, Vikram. Maturation, like mature tequila is growing very much. The kind of cut-off points is 1 year if you want an añejo, 3 years if you want an extra añejo. Beyond that, you can hold it and it will mature more, but it doesn't change category. And as Willie mentioned, the kind of Highlands do offer a different taste palette to the lowlands of tequila, and it just kind of depends on what you use. So it does make a difference, the agave. Jesse asked, what percentage of tequila do you bottle which is sourced from Barrel Global inventory? What percentage of your tequila is sent to the US? Do you have plans to increase your USA distribution? So, I mean, we did mention that Foley Wines is now their global distributor, but I guess, Willie, do you want to touch on the percentage, I suppose, of your tequila that goes to the US as opposed to the rest of the world?
For the US, I would say that it's our 70% of our production. Maybe 25 is going to be Mexico, and only 5% other part of the world. So,
and Foley is taking it globally, right? Not just to the US.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Foley's taking it globally. There's plans to be touching Europe this year, and Australia, and Asia 2026. That's kind of a scope where what markets we are searching now.
Nice. Awesome. Great. Then James Holt asked, is there a limit on how many barrels you can buy? Buddy, you can buy as many as you want. Yeah, you can come and buy as many as you. I mean, we are having difficulty. I mean, not difficulty, but we do need to source the barrels, find them, get them to Willie, get them all filled. But that's something we can accommodate with a certain amount of time. And obviously, if the more you buy, the better price you get. But I think your storage, you have a lot of capacity to store, right? So it's all good.
Yeah. And capacity of storage, we are not even close to. The space.
The big space. It's a big space.
Yeah.
And Josh Taylor asked, what's the average number of barrels of tequila produced annually at Tequilas El Mexicano?
Well, now we have, from all the sources we have now, like 1,800 barrels.
Okay.
But well, as you know, George, some of them are from our other brand partners or from El Mexicano brand. So, but yeah, now it's like 1,800 barrels.
1,800. Okay. Yeah. So let's get that number up. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And then 2 questions that came in from the guys here. Are you a partner of Foley or owned by them? I think it's a partnership, right?
No, they are our distributors now.
Yeah.
So it's I would say they are our commercial partners.
Uh-huh.
Because we have a really nice agreement on the distribution part. So
yeah. Okay, awesome. So so it's more of like a distribution. Okay, we got 2 more questions. All right. So Chris asked, if I were to buy a bottle, I have a store near me that carries El Mexicano, which bottle should I start with?
Oh, nice question. I would say that it depends on where and how you're drinking it. So
what's this? I've already went through half of this bottle.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So for me, neat or in the rocks, it's gonna be an H1, reposado, añejo, extra añejo. But I would start with reposado. It's not as complex as the añejo and extra añejo. And for cocktails, now that summer is around the corner, I would do blanco to make some cocktails. Nice, fresh palomas or ranch water or any cocktail that you prefer. That would be my recommendation.
For me, I love them all, but I'd rock a reposado. The reposado is it's like, and anybody with kind of like hospitality groups, they love all of them, but the reposado is a really good reposado, like with some ice, some lemon, like in a highball. Really, really good. Right, let's keep going. Brandon beyond 3 years, say a 5-year extra añejo, how do you see the barrel value and flavor profile? So is that something like you recommend, Willie? People aging their barrels a bit longer?
Yeah, now El Mexicano, the special edition we released, that were there were only 6,000 bottles. It's a 5-year-old, 60 months. And as I told you, George, we are on diapers on the barrel industry or in the barrel brown spirits world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really complex. It's a really complex spirit. That's why the price that we have, you can find it in some online stores now. It's a green label. Like honestly, even my dad, that he has been making tequila for years, he didn't knew that tequila can evolve in the glass. Like if you let it sit 1 hour, it will evolve. So yeah, it's a way complex profile. That profile, it's gonna be 80% French, 20% American. So the French obviously is a little bit more complex on the mid palate, you know. So you will see a quite complex profile. I could not say that a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old is gonna be a difference in maybe on a lot in the price, because if you have a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 10-year-old, it's extrañejo, you know. So we are not there yet. I think we are gonna get there, and I will see. I could see a tequila 12-year-old in a future. I can see it, you know. Like, but we need to get first into the quality of the brown spirits and then start getting up.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool to try. I like the 12, 15-year-old tequila. That'd be pretty badass. Awesome. Then Brandon said, also, what capacity of barrels do you see each year and at what frequency? Well, as we said, the El Mexicano was built with size, so there is a lot of space for growth. Obviously, now with her partnership with Foley, I'm assuming a lot more, you know, the barrel filling and capacity will go up. But yeah, do you want to touch on that?
Well, we have the space to have a 10,000 barrel cave. We have now we have the render and we have everything. Now we need to sell a little bit more to develop it to make it happen. But yeah, the space is there. Everything it's really well envisioned by my dad. So we don't stop on making a really good quality juice and grow with you guys around this amazing adventure. So yeah, in terms of space and ambition is there, you know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, first off, Willie, thank you so much, man. This has been cool. Thank you. You're always super, you know, got your very good at explaining, you know, the vision of El Mexicano and what your family has done. And we're super happy to be partners with you. Everybody who joined. Oh, wait. Got another question. Sorry. Please explain the bottle process more thoroughly. It's very similar, I suppose, to how it would be with a bourbon barrel. If you want to bottle your barrel, we get choosing. We'll put you in touch with our team who looks after the bottlings. We'll choose your bottle shape, your label. We'll get your label approved. We have pass-through import that will get the bottles into the US for you, and then we pass them through to where you want to take them. It would just depend on whether you're doing this as retail or where you're doing it for personal consumption. But yeah, as I said, if you're in touch with anybody on the team, your account manager, please get in touch with them and they'll run you through it, all the pricing, all the costs, all the different options. But we do have that set up very well with Willie and his team. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you so much, Willie. This has been awesome. Guys, everybody who joined, thank you so much. You know, we didn't expect it, but tequilas became a pretty big part of the business. We're more focused on bourbon, but tequila is growing. It's a great category. There's great brands like what El Mexicano are doing, making some amazing liquid. If you do get a chance, you're very, very welcome to come visit. Come to Guadalajara. You fly into Guadalajara. It's like an hour drive, give or take, to get to El Mexicano Naranjas. You can go visit your barrels. You can try some super cool stuff, hang out with Willie and his family. And yeah, thank you so much, Willie. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you all, and we will wait you in Arandas, so we can meet in person.
Yeah, exactly. Get tipsy and have some tacos.
Yeah, amazing tacos.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you, and everybody have a great rest of your night. Talk to you later.
See you. Bye bye.